Hinato Moana believes that Tom Aspinall had the option to carry on following the eye poke, but decided against it for commercial reasons. According to Moano, the champion wanted to hold on to his title so that he could enter the rematch as the winner and still earn pay-per-view points, which would have vanished if the bout had been declared a loss. According to Hinato, it went beyond harm safety. In the heat of the moment, most combatants wouldn't even consider this planned financial maneuver. Andy Aspinall, Tom's father, is calling on the UFC to take steps to stop such incidents from occurring in the future. He claims that before a fighter sustains irreversible harm, the promotion must address the glove design and eye poke regulations. Additionally, Andy disclosed that the doctor warned them that things might have gone horribly wrong. Tom might have had a tear behind his eye if he had been booted in the head immediately following the poke. It's a frightening idea, and the UFC may finally need to take eye pokes more seriously given all the uproar surrounding the bout. This rematch is anticipated to happen in January 2026 or at UFC 323 in December. Now let's get started.
Good fight, but I think he made a decision. A business decision, yeah, because he thought, okay, because if he was Cyril Gane, he would not stop, because otherwise he's not gonna get the title shot.
Yeah.
But he's the champion, he's gonna make money as a champion.
Right.
So he could fight, but he chose not to do it.
Yeah.
So is that chicken out? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So you think he just made a calculated decision?
No, I think 100% he got hurt. Probably he cannot see with the eyes,
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is some people can fight without the eyes,
Right. I mean, but Cyril Gane is such a good striker. Like, to fight that guy with one eye is crazy, bro. Like, you're gonna get knocked out.
Yes, especially a heavyweight.
And the fact that he gets to keep his belt and now do a rematch with pay-per-view points as the defending champion, it just makes so much more sense. If he continues and gets knocked out, his whole career could change. Look what happened with Anthony Smith.
I believe so.
Former champions Henry Cejudo and TJ Dillashaw, who are renowned for their combat intelligence, have both discussed how Umar Nurmagomedov might ultimately unravel the mystery of Merab Dvalishvili. TJ discussed what he believes went wrong with Umar's most recent performance and how to correct it on the Jackson podcast. He pointed out that Norma's cardio dropped late in the Bautista bout, which is just not possible against a monster like Merab. Dillashaw came up with a straightforward solution: get Umar to train with Sam Calvada, the same coach who shaped Khamzat Chimaev's endurance system and Dillashaw's illustrious MMA career. With that kind of scientific training behind him, Dillashaw dubbed it the secret weapon, claiming that Umar could match Dvalishvili's ferocity for 5 rounds without being overwhelmed. Cejudo contributed as well, evaluating Merab's tactics and shortcomings based on his own encounters with him. Now let's get started.
There's another thing that I will say about Merab. Merab's a pressure fighter, but he's a movement and a pressure fighter. So the more that he's able to have the movement going forward, the more that he's able to set up everything that he wants to get. So I feel like if you do change the movements either laterally, if you watch that first round with me, you'll see a little bit of what I was doing until I got tired, bro. Until that growing. Anyways, and that's the way. You stay in the center and you fight the dude. But if you go backwards and you allow him to kind of start getting that rhythm going of forward pressure, because he's offensive when he shoots, it's I think those are his best chances. And I do feel like he doesn't. I would just work on my takedown defense. That's it. And stay in the center. Bring the fight. Typically, Merab always kind of loses the first round. He lost it with me. He lost it with him. He lost it with Corey.
UFC welterweight competitor Shavkat Rakhmonov's close friend Salah Hu revealed a shocking revelation in a recent edition of the Russian podcast Nisa TV. Rakhmonov is no longer involved in mixed martial arts. Salah went into depth, stating that Shavkat hasn't competed in the octagon for a whole year due to injuries sustained during his narrow victory over Ian Machado Gahari. The layoff isn't the only aspect of retirement. Rakhmonov is dissatisfied with the UFC's decision-making process about the next championship contender. Team Shavkat feels he has earned his chance, but he is disillusioned because the UFC still puts the biggest names ahead of merit. Even though his injuries kept him out of action for a few months, the announcement of his retirement begins to make sense given the entire year-long absence and this discontent. Dana White was even informed of his choice, and she publicly responded, giving another dimension to the welterweight division's developing narrative. For months, there had been rumors that he would fight Kamaru Usman in a title eliminator. However, the bout never happened, Instead, Kamaru confronted and defeated Wim Buckley.
I'll repeat myself once again. I suggest that you now take my words very seriously. I know that Shavkat will no longer fight.
I literally just told you that Shavkat is training daily.
You're telling me that he's training, and that's your only proof that he will fight? Okay, let him train. So what? I know that he won't fight anymore, and he can train as much as he wants. It will be a year in November since he last stepped into the cage. A year. The guys Shavkat could fight, they will be fighting in November, from November 16th to 22. In order for Shavkat to fight for the championship, he would need to fight them first. If Shavkat were to fight others, they wouldn't give him a title fight. For example, if he fights guys like Buckley, that wouldn't be enough to get a title shot. It would take Shavkat at least 6 more months to get his title shot. That means by that time, it will be a year and a half since he last fought in the cage. I'm telling you, Shavkat Rakhmonov will not fight ever again.
I don't know if anybody expected him to do what he did. You don't know what to expect from that guy. In this sport, man, you never know what's going to happen. Anything is possible.
Listen, these guys, at some point, everybody's going to move on, and everybody has to do what's right for them and make money for their families. So, you know, whatever they got to do, they got to do.
Dan Hooker stated in a recent interview with Sky Sports that he is no longer the thrilling guy on the card. Simply put, he wants the belt. He explained why he isn't aiming for Justin Gaethje next, stating that he isn't that man and that Arman Tsarukyan is the true route to a title. Beyond the tactics and matchups, Hooker revealed his mentality by stating that he won't pretend to be someone else to win people over. He stated that he would rather be despised for being himself than adored for playing a part, taking a direct jab at the Colby Covington strategy. In November, the Hangman will face Arman Tsarukyan at UFC Qatar. Naturally, El Matador stays at lightweight and doesn't push for the Islam Makhachev fight at 170 when choosing the next contender for Ilia Topuria's title. Let's hear what Hooker had to say, though.
Arman is the best guy. He is the best guy. This is the fight. Like, if I beat Gaethje, there's still, like, that's just like a fun fight. Like, you had to make a decision. Do you want to just be an exciting fighter that puts on great shows and great knockouts? Because there were at times in my career where that was unthinkable to me. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be that exciting guy that gets knockouts. Then you're like, oh man, I want a main event. And then you main event, you're like, oh, well, what's next, you know? Justin Gaethje's not that guy. Justin Gaethje's not that guy. Justin Gaethje doesn't get me to that guy. Justin Gaethje gets me a headache and some more money. Like, who cares? Arman Tsarukyan is the path to the title.
I appreciate you watching. For daily MMA news, don't forget to subscribe and give a like.